that's a very heartfelt gift from Elevator. Now if we could move right along, because we're running a few minutes late, if I could call Stuart up with Shirley and Councillor Darwin Douglas from Cham First Nation. We're going to move this very exciting part, and then we want to try to save room, and I know I'm starting to get the evil eye from our partners at Raven on time, but we want to finish it with our own Inez.
Iswail Makwat, Etalak Equala, Etal Squalwa Quals Quetzlala. Good day, everyone. My name is Darwin Douglas, and I'm a counselor for Cham First Nation. And I also sit as one of the board of directors for Cham Enterprises Incorporated, which is our business development arm of our community. I'm up here today, I guess, to speak a bit about a business that we started earlier this spring, the Cham Fishing Village, which is a campsite and boat launch. And we have approximately 50 campsites we put in this year, as well as a boat launch there. And we did this to invite our friends, our anglers that we share the river with and we share the salmon resource with, invite them into our community to camp out and to access the river. There's a limited amount of places that people can access the Fraser on properly maintained boat launches. So we're fortunate enough to have a few of these right on our reserve there and within our territory. So we developed this business, and it was something that we've been talking about for a while, and I was lucky enough to get appointed to the board at CEI and was able to use my position there to help make this a reality. So a big part of it was it took many people to make it happen, and a big part of the reason why it was able to happen was because of Stolo Community Futures. And Mike Watson and Rocio and all the staff there, I can't say enough about the support they gave us. We managed to access a loan through them to do some of the capital works, and we hired one of our locally band-owned companies, K&L Contracting, to do the work. And the support that was given and the financial support in particular was we were able to make it happen. So I'm very excited about the announcement that's happening here today, and I spoke a little bit to Mike about it. And I think that many of the Stolo communities, we're becoming more proactive about business. Some ways in the past we may have been a little reactive. People come to us with business ideas. Well, I think now more of the communities are developing our own business ideas that are consistent with our values, consistent with our ideals about the land and our territory, and accessing funds to make these businesses a reality is a very important step. So very excited, and I can't say enough. I want to thank, I only got 30 seconds, Mike's going to give me a left hook here pretty quick, but I can't say enough about the help that Stolo Community Futures has given our community and many of our community members and entrepreneurs out there. So with that, thank you very much, and I hope everyone enjoys the conference.
You know the Oscars, but we don't have that. One thing I do want to point out, on your on your table in front of you, you saw some salmon. That's your gift, and that is also from one of Darwin's companies, Cham Trading, who was a recipient also of our micro-lending program with Bank of Montreal. Now, I do want to do justice, and I'll pay the price afterwards, I know, with Katrin on this. But I do want to say that the gentleman that is going to speak next, Stuart Anderson, Manager, Van City of Indigenous Affairs, is a real friend. And what he's about to announce is very, very important for the Stalo communities and for all the people. Stuart.
Thank you, Mike, and also thank you to the Sumas people for the invitation to come out to your territory, and to the Stolo people for being such amazing entrepreneurs for so many, many, many generations. I work at Van City. We're a credit union, a member-owned financial services cooperative. We do business throughout Coast Salish territory. It's very important for us to acknowledge Coast Salish territory because it's where we do business. It's where our members and our staff, our borrowers, our depositors, our shareholders, all of whom are the same, all live and work. So we really believe in building stronger communities. So I started at Van City about 10 years ago, and one of my first meetings was with Stolo Community Futures and Mike Watson to ask the question, what should we or could we be doing to support the work that you're doing? And I've asked that question to many people over the last 10 years. And what it comes down to is access to capital and knowing how to access that capital. There's lots of money available to invest in business ventures, but a lot of times the investor and the business being invested in don't really know how to connect. So organizations like Stolo Community Futures do just that. So it's really an honor for Van City to be trusted by Community Futures and to work with them to provide financing to create the Stolo Community Loan Fund. So it's $1 million loan fund that will allow Stolo Community Futures to invest in their businesses. So the second piece of that is knowing how to access that capital. So there's a program that we've been supporting over the last few years called Aboriginal Best, Business and Entrepreneurship Skills Training. It's a program that's funded primarily by the provincial and federal governments. But when we made our contribution to Aboriginal Best this year, we said, we'd really like you to host a series of workshops for Aboriginal Best in Stolo territory to support the work of Stolo Community Futures and the whole StoloMeansBusiness initiative. So that's another thing that we're excited about, is to bring Aboriginal Best to Stolo territory. Finally, I'd like to introduce some of my colleagues that are here in the room, because we are interested in doing business with Stolo businesses. So we have Nina Kendall, who's a business account manager from our Chilliwack branch, Douglas Paye, who's a small business specialist, and Brent Jansen, who's a community business specialist. Community business account manager. So my colleagues are here today, and I encourage you to get out and meet them and start to build those relationships. So thank you very much, and thank you Stolo Community Futures for hosting this important event.
I'd just like to thank you, Darwin, for sharing your personal story and sharing the words that are in your heart and telling the people what it's been like for you. And I'm thinking, Stuart, we have to stop meeting like this, or we need to meet like this more often, because every time I see you, you're bringing dollars to the table. So that's okay. I can't tell you, and Darwin talked about excitement, and I have that excitement and that gratefulness, but I'm strengthened in my heart and in my mind because I know what this lending opportunity brings to Stolo people. In the BEST program, I sent out text messages last night to some of the people about the BEST program, and a number of people that texted back right away and said, I want to be in that. So it's definitely something that our people will benefit from. It's something that we want. It's a training program that's going to provide answers and help us to grow business. And again, very grateful for the dollars that you bring to the table. And I know that we have the capacity and the people that are going to take full use of those dollars and turn them into prosperous business. So thank you very much. That's all I have.
We're going to actually have a formal signing ceremony. Darwin's going to act as witness. So this is a fun, I want to, while they're signing and people wish to take photographs, this actually is a program designed just for the Stolo communities. We can lend, and it's managed by SCF through the generous support of Van City. We can lend up to $500,000 per community. This is for a new community business, an existing community business that is expanding, or a joint venture community business with the private sector. So this is a tremendous opportunity, and it's designed to start the businesses and then allow the commercial institutions, especially Van City and other commercial institutions, to step in when that community business has to expand even further. So we are really very, very grateful and very thankful to Van City. That is the first initial component of the program. It could go higher, depending upon community demand in Stalo. What I would suggest, there's information immediately downstairs. Find Rosille, find Shannon, they're over there. They're the ones with the money. I know they'll be the most sought after people for the next 30 hours. They're at the Stalo Community Futures booth downstairs. Now the Aboriginal Best program, this is 2 weeks, 8 hours a day. It's going to be in our boardroom the end of November. It is an intense training program for those thinking they want to be in business or those that are in business that want to hone their skills in the whole areas of budgeting, marketing, research, writing business plans, doing borrowing, etc. So again, Shannon and Rosille have the forms, and I believe that we're almost half full already on that program. So again, big round of thank you to Van City.